So into our previous video already we have seen the benefits of using your Azure SQL database. So we are free, we don't have to manage anything, and now we are going to use this amazing feature of your Azure. How we are going to create and manage this Azure database? We are going to start with our portal. So don't wait, let's move ahead.
So for creating your SQL databases, what we can do is we need to move into your databases. So you can find here SQL databases you have. Here you can add a new database. So for that I'll click on add here, and after adding you can define the database name. So I'm just going to define the database name as database 1. In existing resource group I'll be using for creating my database. What the source you require, whether you require a blank database or you have some sample database which you want to use, or you are creating a backup of your existing database. Right now I'm using a blank database. The server which you want to create for your database, you can define this server for your database as well. So database 1, enter the admin. As we know, while you are connecting the database you should have to define the password, or username and password for your databases. Root user 1. So password, again we need to define some complicated password here. Okay, we've defined it. Click on select. So your new server will be created for your database. It will create an SQL/stick pool. So, and also this is a database which you have. If you want to change your database server, you can do it, and then we can create this. So this will be the SQL which will be getting installed into your database, and your SQL server which you will be getting, it will create your own database server, database machine, which you will be using for your databases, for storing your database, I can say. So it will be created into your resource group which we have, that is resource group 1. We have selected. We can find this database machine here. So we are waiting till it's getting created. So it will take a little time to deploy the same. We'll get our database once it is created here. So we need to wait for a while till it's getting completed with your creating the database, and find this SQL database on your system. So you can find here, this is the SQL database which has been created into your central India. So this is a database you can use directly. You can create your endpoint for connecting this database. You can even replicate this particular database into multiple locations so that you have a redundancy. As you can provide the transparent data encryptions as well, so you can secure your data within a network. You can also increase the size of this particular database, and you can check for the database size, whether it has been, you have some space into your database, and what is the utilizations of the space which you have used into this particular database. And also you can check for the threads, and you can audit the threads which are connecting in this particular database, who are trying to connect to your database. Everything will be monitored over here. So always ensure that you are keeping the auditing on, detection of your threats on for your database, because you'll be storing a huge amount of data which can be your valuable data. And it will be again, the logs will be created for it. Even ensure that you are creating alerts by using your monitors, that is my threat monitors, or your database monitors and application monitors, so that you get all the information about the database if you are connecting it with your applications. So this is how generally we can create your databases. This is how we can use your databases into your Azure. So wait a while. Okay, so it is creating your threat detection settings. We have enabled it twice or thrice. Okay, fine. Same way we can even scale your databases. If you want your DTU to be increased, you can check your basic DTU, your standard DTUs if you are using, and premiums are not available as we are using our free version. So as per the DTU, you are using data per unit. So you can see the size of the data per unit is increasing, and your rupees, the charges, are again increasing. So the storage, as per that you can the complete storage which you have, and you can also increase and decrease the size of your storage for your SQL database which you have created. So this is how we have seen how we can create a database into your Azure.